I should warn you, sir. My mother is a little eccentric.
Hey guys, I've dug up some really good facts this week from Star Trek Next Generation Series 1 episode, Haven. The episode is about that the Enterprise is heading towards the planet Haven, which some believe has mystical healing powers. And also coming on board is a party of betazoids, including Roxana Troy for the first time. So that's the breakdown of the episode. Now, for the facts. Now, in the episode, Deanna Troi is to be married, but the original screenplay actually shows that the person she was going to originally marry was to be Captain Picard. But this was changed a short while later on the second version of the screenplay, that she was going to be actually marrying this young fellow called Wyatt, who was a human from the planet Earth. Now, this episode is the debut of the character of Roxana Troy, and it's also the only episode that her full name is spoken. She makes several appearances in Star Trek after this episode, of course, but during this episode, when she first introduces herself, she of course introduces herself as Roxana Drax Pax Gur. Right, this is also the debut episode of Mr. Home, which is Roxana Troy's manservant, who go on to appear in Star Trek in both The Next Generation and Deep Space Nine 27 times in every appearance of Roxana Troy, until he's eventually killed in Quark's bar during a scene in Season 4, of course, of Deep Space Nine.
Wife seems a fine young man.
Now, rumour has it that this episode, Haven, is actually the 200th episode of Star Trek. Now, that's if you include all of the original 1960s series and The Next Generation up until this part. So that's pretty interesting, but this is the 200th episode of Star Trek. Now, during a Betazoid wedding, everyone is expected to be completely nude. Not only this, but there's actually a deleted scene from this episode, which is available on one of the DVD releases, I think, which shows Roxana Troy also adding that everybody has to have their hair shaved for the Betazoid wedding. So you have to be nude and to have no hair. Now, some of the actors did actually cut off their hair and had to wear human wigs for the next few weeks after this episode. And of course, it was a deleted part of the episode, and in the end, nobody did have to cut their hair. Thank goodness. Now, the popular phrase, "then so be it," is uttered in this episode an amazing 16 times. 5 times by Picard, 4 times by Roxana Troy, 6 times by the different various people from Haven, and once by Mr. Home. Now, the Worf actor, Michael Dorn, doesn't appear in this episode because he was actually busy filming Home Alone. You might not have noticed, but he was a stunt double for the burglar, Harry, and was paid handsomely for the work that he did during this movie. Lots of the times when you see Harry befalling some kind of accident or trap, that's actually Michael Dorn. He's so brave having done that. Now, earlier in the episode, fairly early in the episode, we see Commander Riker sitting in his room watching a holographic presentation of 2 women playing harps. Sitting there wearing some silk clothes, wearing harps, and he looks quite happy with himself. This clearly shows the raw depth of character of Commander Riker, or it actually shows that he's actually extremely boring. Now, another fact for you for Haven, as you might know, the Paramount Pictures Studios is right on the beach. It's on the beachfront, and during the filming of Haven, there was a famous infestation of crabs which washed up on the beach, and several of the crabs made it sort of scurrying up onto the beach and were found all around the Paramount lot that week. And a few of the crabs were actually found in the studio during the filming of Haven. So if you look closely, you might notice some crabs. I'm not sure if it was big crabs or small crabs, but yeah, there's crabs coming up from the beach. Now the actor who plays the character of Wyatt, who's the person that Deanna Troi is set to marry in this strange arranged marriage. The actor who plays Wyatt was actually, at the time, the president of Paramount Pictures. This is his only acting role. And as the president of Paramount, he wanted to make his stamp in the history of Star Trek, and he thought that he could insert himself into it, which is actually what he did. I think he didn't do such a bad job. He does quite a believable job as the character of Wyatt, who goes off at the end of the episode, not marrying Deanna Troi, but marrying a lady on a plague ship, which was quite interesting. Okay, thanks for checking out my facts. Don't forget to subscribe unless you don't want to. Check out my other facts. I'm building up a little repertoire of a little library of Star Trek fact videos here. They're amazing facts I'm managing to find about Star Trek Next Generation, and hopefully, of course, I'll move on to some other Star Trek series as well. So yeah, thanks very much. Catch you later, guys. Bye.